If you're part of a crew, nobody ever tells you that they're going to kill you. Doesn't happen that way. There weren't any arguments or curses like in the movies. See, your murderers come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who've cared for you all your life. And they always seem to come at a time that you're at your weakest and most in need of their help. Welcome back to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest, home of the Golden Bucket, a weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question, should or shouldn't you watch this? I want to extend a made man welcome to Johnny JJ. Welcome back to our conclusion of Goodfellas.
Thanks for having me back, Popcorn.
Also, what's with all the J's? We got JJ, Johnny, Judd, so many J's.
J-Gang.
Wiseguy is the meme.
We are reviewing Goodfellas. This is part 2. If you haven't listened to part 1, head over and do that. And we are also reviewing essentially a little bit the book, Wiseguy, from Nicholas Pileggi. And yeah, we're doing this on video, and I see the book. JJ's flashing it to me. It's awesome. 3 decades of life in the mafia. The exciting conclusion of Goodfellas is next.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. Being a gangster was better than being president of the United States. I could go anywhere, I could do anything. I knew everybody and everybody knew me. I was living in a fantasy. There was Jimmy and Tommy and me. You're a funny guy.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
Then, I couldn't believe what happened.
What if you had to go to prison?
I know what I'm doing.
Didn't you hear what I said? Don't buy anything. You're gonna get us all pinched. What are you, stupid?
What kind of people are these?
Here's a leg.
It's a wing.
If you're part of a crew, nobody ever tells you that they're going to kill you.
Worry too much.
If we stay around here, we're dead.
Never rat on your friends and always keep your mouth shut.
We were treated like movie stars with muscle. We had it all just for the asking. The way I saw it, I belonged.
What a sick trailer. All right, just for your reference, listeners and Johnny, our categories today are popcorn trivia, popcorn beefs, popcorn puzzles, and popcorn redemption. Let's start off with popcorn trivia.
Let me tell you something, pendejo.
I don't have a lot of trivia. I only have like 3 or 4. My first one is Scorsese. The way if you haven't listened to last week, we debated on how to say Scorsese's name. He first got wind of Nicholas Pileggi's book. I mean, there's another last name that we're probably mispronouncing. It might be Pileggi. It might be Pileggi. Anyway, his book Wiseguy, when he was handed the gallery proofs, although Scorsese had sworn off making another gangster movie, he immediately cold called the writer and told him, "I've been waiting for this book my entire life." Pileggi replied, "I've been waiting for this phone call my entire life."
Nice. Perfect match.
Yeah, those two guys. And they collaborated with Casino right after that. So the How Am I Funny scene is based on something that actually happened to Joe Pesci. Did you guys know that?
No.
I didn't know that. While working in a restaurant, a young Pesci apparently told a mobster that he was funny, a compliment that was met with a less than enthusiastic response. Pesci relayed the anecdote to Scorsese, who decided to include it in the film. Scorsese didn't include the scene in the shooting script so that Pesci and Ray Liotta's interactions would elicit genuinely surprised reactions from the supporting cast. So it was just like an impromptu for everybody else but those two, which I also thought was cool.
I read that it was improvised, that he improvised that, but I didn't know that really happened to him.
Yeah, I'm sure it was elaborated on, but you can distinctly see if you watch it. Normally I'm watching Pesci and Liotta in that scene, but if you watch the surrounding mobsters, their faces go from really happy and smiling to like they're looking around like, uh-oh, this is, and that was their true reaction, which I thought was really funny.
That's awesome. Because that's my reaction watching it. You feel that tension and you're like, is he joking? I don't know. Is this guy going to get whacked? Then, they just burst out laughing. It's a good time.
Yeah. The faces that Leota makes in that scene and really in the whole movie are really funny.
There's some gifts out there.
Yeah. According to the author of the book, some mobsters were hired as extras to lend authenticity to the scenes. The mobsters gave Warner Brothers fake Social Security numbers, and no one knows how they received their actual paychecks.
That's awesome.
That's like so meta.
Yeah.
That's like what they do.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we'll be in your movie. My Social Security number is 7.
Okay.
According to Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro and Tina Sinatra put a fake severed horse head in his trailer, an homage to the Godfather series. Whoa. That's wild.
Dang.
I mean, a fake severed head.
The plastic or something?
I mean, a horse head is giant, and to make it fake and it's also bloody, like, I would like some pics of that, please. My last trivia point, the later life of Henry Hill after he enters the witness protection program was also adapted more humorously into a movie called My Blue Heaven, also came out the same year. Appropriately, that film was written by Nora Ephron, who was Nicholas Pileggi's wife. Ephron reportedly witnessed so many phone conversations that Pileggi had with Hill for his book Wiseguy, which he later adapted into a screenplay, which is Goodfellas, that it inspired her to write her own screenplay. Although Hill loved Goodfellas, he allegedly really wasn't very happy with My Blue Heaven. I think it's
still need to watch it, but you liked it, right?
I thought it was funny. I mean, Steve Martin is always a good time. It's not Goodfellas. Please keep that in mind. Any other trivia that you'd like to guys bring up?
I just got 2 trivia for you.
Okay.
Do you know Marty's mom is in this movie?
Yeah, isn't she the Pesci's mom, right?
Yeah. So he put his mom in this movie. So when they got the body in the trunk and then they stop at Pesci's house, that's Marty's mom. I love that scene. And basically Marty told his mom, there's no script, just improvise what a typical Italian mother would do right here. And she improvised cooking him dinner at 2 a.m.
I love that scene so much. I thought she was great. I love how Joe Pesci's character took the knife and he's like, yeah, I kind of love this because he said that he hit an animal and he needed to cut it up or something. And that's why they had blood all over themselves. And I thought it was just just this innocent little mom cooking him food for her son and his friends. So that's awesome. That's Marty's mom. That's really cool.
And showing that kind of mediocre painting that she did, that was a real painting that her friend painted, and she brought it and was like, look at this good painting that I did. It just feels so authentic. And also what it does, I think, for me is it really paints a picture of how nonchalant they were with murder. It's like, we just killed a dude. We don't know that he's still alive in the trunk, but we're going to go have a bite to eat before we go bury him because we're kind of hungry.
Yeah, that's one thing the book does really well as well. Just these killings were just so accepted and that nobody was immune. You got out of line, you got whacked.
Even if you were a made man, which essentially that's you're untouchable.
Or Pesci's character, he was about to get made and he gets whacked.
See ya.
My other piece of trivia was in the afterword from the Wiseguy book. Ray Liotta encouraged the real life Henry Hill to enter rehab for alcohol. And after 2 days, he entered. So I thought that was a little interesting piece of trivia that real
art imitates life, just kind of a full circle moment.
Problem is he kind of fell off the wagon later and was an alcoholic again.
Yeah, but I just like that Ray Liotta was trying.
Hey, we like Ray Liotta. He was trying to keep Henry Hill out of more trouble.
Those are good. I like those. So I got a couple.
Yes.
My first is medical trivia.
Dr. Johnny in the house.
Dr. Poole's medical trivia. So the very climax of the movie, Henry's drug-induced paranoia, right? So heavy cocaine, amphetamine use. These are classic signs of stimulant-induced anxiety and paranoia. The real-life Henry Hill lived until 2012, and he died of heart complications, which is very common for long-term stimulant users. I don't have his medical record. I don't know what was in his chart, but very likely that his heavy cocaine and amphetamine use contributed to his heart complications.
To his early demise.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
The other one I had that I thought was interesting. So all the Ray Liotta, all his narration, which is like just really well done. The way they did that, he was actually recorded directly into a mic conversing with someone else in the room. So Scorsese did that as he wanted to sound conversational, very real, like he's having a conversation. So every time you hear him, it's like he's talking into a mic, but it's like he's having a conversation with somebody else in the room. I thought that was an interesting little technique that they used.
I mean, it felt like that for sure.
Yeah, I love the voiceover narration in this movie. And that's what the book does well with laying out some interviews. So this narration is just straight from the book of what the narrative that they're going over.
Like, it's so good. You know, Ray Liotta's narration in this movie is just tops.
Yeah, and usually in films, narration is kind of a screeching halt to the pacing of a movie, and it doesn't work. Like 9 times out of 10, narration is not needed, or it's a lazy way of getting to the next point instead of having some kind of scene to bridge that gap. And this is, like both of you've said, great exposition, great narration, and it aids what JJ said about it being in the book. Is really, it just finishes everything off really well.
I like that we get Karen's narration too, and not just Henry's. I think that's important too.
Yeah, and I love the fact that in the book there are these chapters where you get a vignette from Henry Hill, and then you get the exact same vignette from the eyes of Karen. What a cool way to tell a story, and you get to see him from both perspectives. You guys ready for beefs?
Where's it at?
Popcorn, Italian beefs.
Where's the beef? Hey, where's the beef?
Okay, I've got a few beefs. Be thinking of your beefs. De Niro was said that he wanted to use real money for the scene where Jimmy hands out money because he didn't like the way fake money felt in his hands. So the prop master gave De Niro $5,000 of his own money. And at the end of each take, no one was allowed to leave the set until all the money was returned and accounted for. My beef is with these method actors. Like, bro, the fake money that you get is fine. You don't need real money, De Niro. Come on, bro. I mean, it's a minor beef, but like, it's just there's no way I'm gonna tell.
I'm for it. He needs to fill that cheddar. Get the budget to get some hundreds. It's fine.
All right. The next beef I have is with the MPAA. They ordered Scorsese to cut out 10 frames of blood before they could get an R rating. 10 frames? That's it? That's
what would it have been?
I don't know what the frames were. Yeah, it would have been an NC-17.
Wow.
I just don't understand why that amount of frames, it's like a blip. And now it's a rated R. I don't know. I don't get it.
Seems very subjective.
Here's some interesting with the passing of Val Kilmer, and we just did Sack Lunch and I did a pod on The Saint. Val Kilmer was so eager to win the role of Henry Hill that he made an audition tape, even a short film, to convince Scorsese to cast him. Obviously, the role went to Ray Liotta, but clips of the short film can be seen in Kilmer's 2021 autobiography. I actually watched the scene. It's pretty great, and I think I love Ray Liotta in this film, and I can't, in my heart of hearts, can't say that I would want anyone else, but go check out Val Kilmer's take on Henry Hill. I think he would have been really good.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. We got robbed of not having Kilmer in a Marty flick for sure.
Yeah. Some other what ifs are Tom Cruise, Nicolas Cage, Sean Penn, and Alec Baldwin. Also, John Travolta were considered for the role of Henry Hill.
TC. We worked TC into another pod.
No way Tom Cruise is Henry Hill, ever.
Bro, 1990? He could do this.
I mean, he could do it, but none of those actors other than Kilmer, I think, could have pulled this off, in my opinion.
I could see John Travolta.
It would have been weird. It would have been like hammy.
John Travolta as a gangster? I don't know.
The throwback Travolta, Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah, the weird hair plugs, fat Travolta definitely can't do this, but the early Travolta could. I don't know. That's a beef.
I think it's perfect cast. Ray Liotta, perfect. De Niro, Pesci, want to have any other of the three.
Yeah. I guess my beef is that these guys were even considered. I think Liotta does a great job, and I like the idea that Val Kilmer was so passionate that he made a short film. It's kind of cool. My last beef, Henry Hill doesn't kill a single person in the movie. That might not be accurate in real life, since Hill said on the Howard Stern show that he had killed 3 people and that he was free to talk about it because he had a full immunity. We don't hear any of that in the book. That's my beef. That Henry actually killed people.
Yeah, that would have been nice to read in the book and even have it in the movie. I'm curious why they omitted that.
I think it changes his character a little bit. I like the fact that I see him as a guy who weasels his way into this lifestyle, but he isn't that, but he is. And having him kill people, I think changes it for me, at least.
He seems like the good guy gangster in the movie. Like, yeah, he's the one when Joe Pesci's like shooting like Spider and like kills him. He's the one that's kind of like the moral compass in the movie of like, what are you doing? Like, that sort of thing. So yeah, I see your point.
When he's younger and the guy gets shot and he gets the aprons and he's like wrapping them up. And then the owner, Paulie's like, what's wrong with you? You wasted 8 of my aprons.
Yeah, that's why it's a beef for me. I'm glad that they omitted it from the film and the book, essentially. So, but interesting that we didn't know that. What are your guys' beefs with Goodfellas, if you have any?
I got one beef.
Lay it on me.
My beef is with Kevin Costner. Costner needs to pop off.
It's about time someone said it.
Okay.
Wait, what?
My beef is, how did this not win Best Director or Best Picture in the 91 Academy Awards?
Oh, I get it now.
What happened was this man named Kevin Costner came along and he just cleaned house. And I got some beef because I feel like this is, like we mentioned last week, this is Scorsese's peak. This is a masterpiece, and directing it, I think Best Picture should have won.
Yeah, I think the Departed Oscar that he got was kind of like a, hey, we're sorry about all these other years, right?
Yeah, like a makeup.
Yeah, and I accept the beef on Costner, dude. Although I like Dances with Wolves, let's wait 3 months. Release it in 1991, please.
How many times have you watched Dances with Wolves, Put Goodfellas on any day of the week, anytime.
I agree 1,000%. I think I've only watched it twice.
I'd even take it a little bit further. Goodfellas has aged better than Dances with Wolves. We watched Dances with Wolves. There's certain things about it, like the representation of the American Indians and stuff. It's like a little cringy. This movie it stands the test of time, which speaks to why it probably should have won Best Picture.
Tatanka.
I just had one beef, and like I wrote it down, but it's more of a conversation, I think, because my beef was like, I watched it with my wife, who was born like 4 years after this movie came out. Okay. Just because it's 1990 production, the lighting, the film. You watch it now and like it looks like an older movie. It made me feel old when I just watched it. I was like, wow, like I remember watching this in college or whenever it was the first time I watched this, and like it was like a newer kind of like big movie and all that stuff. And you watch it now and you kind of see some of like the 1990 production seems a little bit dated. So I guess my beef is with these younger generation of kids that can't appreciate classic movies without scrolling on their phones. That's my beef.
I love that. These guys are on their phones all the time, dude. Get off your phone and watch the film. Jeez.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
I actually hate the fact that I have I don't hate it that I have an awesome theater, 113 inch screen, but actually 130 inch screen. What I hate is when my family has to take a leak and they have to go to the bathroom. It's like, oh man, go get a water bottle, go to the bathroom, go get some treats. It's like, can we get all those things together and then come sit down? Is this a possibility?
You're right. I hate pausing movies. I'm in it once I hit play.
It's tough, like the phone is such a distraction. We're all addicted to our phones, but especially on older movies. But whenever you sit down and you lock in, you turn the lights down and you go on that ride from beginning to end, you always come out the other end just like really appreciating that work of art.
And it's escapism, dude. We get a moment to get away from work, drama, whatever's going on in your life, injuries, sickness. We get 2 hours to just, man, I'm somebody else. I hate pausing it. I hate coming back to it. I agree. That's a good beef. Any other beefs? We should have made more attention to beefs. This is like a Italian type thing. What's a beef? We missed that. Sorry about that. Here's popcorn puzzles.
A sphincter says what?
What?
A sphincter says what?
What?
Exactly.
All right, I have a few puzzles. Ray Liotta turned down the part of Harvey Dent in Batman in order to make this movie. Whoa. I mean, great choice, but I didn't know that. According to U.S. Attorney Edward McDonald, who plays himself in the film, what? One important real-life detail was left out of the scene of him sitting in the office with Henry and Karen discussing entering the witness protection program. Waiting outside of the office were two of Henry's mistresses, whom he also wanted to be brought into the program. This guy, the gall of this guy. Hey, can I bring these two other Gumars into the mix?
Probably let him. You probably talked him into it.
And Karen's like, hey, what are these ladies out here? I mean, it's so crazy to me.
Yeah. In the book, we get to learn a lot about Linda, his side mistress.
Oh, man. Linda.
I just seen the movie with hitting the buttons on the apartment, calling her out.
Yeah, that was a good scene. Here's another puzzle. I didn't know, we talked about this when we were doing our book club, but Harry states that he and Jimmy could never be made because they weren't of full Italian descent. The rule was changed in 2000 by the commission, the New York Five Families. They say a man can now be made if his father is of Italian descent and his last name is Italian. That would still exclude Henry and Jimmy. Henry's father in the film was Irish, and Jimmy's surname is not Italian. My puzzle is like, is that okay? Like, I don't know. Like, if you got a guy like Henry who's going to bring in millions of dollars into your organization, you're not Italian. It's weird to me.
I like that they have a commission.
Yeah, you guys, you got a commissioner?
Yeah, you get a commissioner. Club league fees.
League fees. Oh man, it's puzzling to me. The film's name was changed from Wiseguy to avoid confusion with both the television series, which I didn't know, Wiseguy in 1987, and Brian De Palma's similarly titled film, Wiseguy. Charles Scorsese, Catherine Scorsese, and Frank Vincent appear in Wiseguy's and in this movie. So I just don't understand why. Who cares, right? I mean, we talked about this, ironically, JJ, in F1, like the title of a movie, that's kind of a weird title for F1, but why aren't we calling this Wiseguy? Do you like Goodfellas? What? Talk to me.
This was my number one puzzle, so I'm glad you brought it up. Like, do we want Wiseguy to be named Goodfellas, or vice versa? Do we want Goodfellas to be named Wiseguy?
I would vote Goodfellas should be called Wise Guys.
I like the S, Wise Guys.
Because before the book and before the movie, I didn't know that they referred to themselves and each other as Wise Guys. I always thought, like, okay, the mafia, the mob, gangsters. Oh, this guy's a wise guy. Like, I thought that was more like, oh, this guy's a joker. Like, this guy's a, like a nickname or something like that you would call someone. But they refer to themselves and each other as Wise Guys. And I felt like, we never, that should have been the title of the movie. That would have been more appropriate, in my opinion.
I can't even think of another name that I would want other than Wise Guys or Wise Guy.
But Goodfellas is a great name.
It's great. I'm not taking any shine from Goodfellas, but it's right there.
Wise Guy.
Yeah.
But just for historical accuracy, it's based on a true story. Wise Guys is the term they used. I'm
glad they didn't add a colon and have like a life in the mafia or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Henry Hill story, or something like that. I don't know. It's a puzzle. We know why, but I don't accept it. My last puzzle is after the premiere, Henry Hill went around and revealed his true identity. In response, the government immediately kicked him out of the federal witness protection program. It just sounds like this guy is like, oh man, I'm in the movies. And he just starts telling everybody about it. He convicted like 60 plus mob boss people in prison. And this guy's like running his mouth. I don't know.
Just who he was.
It's true. You can't, what's the line? You can't change the spots on the tiger. I don't know. What is it?
That was close.
Yeah, we got it. Any other puzzles you guys have before we get into Redemption?
I had one other puzzle besides the name one, which we solved already. I guess Henry Hill's kids wrote a book, and it's from their perspective. It's called On the Run, A Mafia Childhood.
Whoa.
That would be interesting.
So it might be interesting. I know we're all members of a book club.
That would be really interesting to see it from their lens.
Mm-hmm.
Could they make that into a movie or a series? What do you think? I guess we don't know. We don't have the book. We haven't read it.
Ender's Game, Ender's Shadow. I had a hard time with puzzles. You guys had some great ones. I really enjoyed those. We covered a few things, like how they were denied front access, and like I think we already covered them going in the back. The other one I found was kind of interesting. So apparently there was very controversial screenings for this movie. There was very rough previews. A lot of people walked out of the screenings. 40 people left in 10 minutes. And there was some pressure on Scorsese to mix things up, but he stayed steadfast. He kept with the final sequence. His tone, specifically that last act of the movie, is very chaotic. And apparently he stuck to his guns. And we got the movie we got. So I'm glad he did.
I love that. I guess it is puzzling that, I always say this on the show. When you go into a pizza parlor and you're expecting Mexican, it's like, come on, man. This is a mafia movie that's rated R, almost got an NC-17, and you're having problems with violence and language. Maybe go see a different movie.
Yeah, we're all adults. I feel like it could have been a lot more gruesome than what it was.
Yeah, based on the book that we all read, it could have been way more violent. Any other puzzles before we get into Redemption?
That's all I got.
Okay. I like this movie a lot. I think it's very funny. I don't know what that says about the Popcorn Priest, but I laugh a lot in this movie. I laugh at the things that I probably shouldn't laugh about, and I laugh at the things that are funny also. I don't know. That's why I like it so much. And I just want to play this clip. This is like the epitome of why I think this movie is so awesome. Let's see if this will work.
So now my plan was to stay alive long enough to sell off the dope that the cops never found and then disappear for a while until I can get things straightened out.
Karen, Where's the stuff that I left, Karen?
I flushed it down the toilet.
You what?
What was I supposed to do? They were all over the house.
Karen, that was worth $60,000. I need that money. That's all we got.
What was I supposed to do?
Karen!
They were in everything.
That's all the money that we had, Karen. I was dependent on that. Why did you do that?
I had to
Karen,
do it.
what?
They were gonna find it.
Fuck, Karen, they would have never found it.
I swear to you, Henry. I swear, Henry, they would have found it. No.
Why did you do that? Why?
Would have found it.
Why did you do that, Karen?
Oh man, it just I do that to my wife sometimes. I'll be like, "Why did you do that?" And she has no idea. No, but I just loved that whole scene. I love the whole that whole act where he's, high and looking at the chopper, and just, it's so awesome. It's just great. What's your redemptions?
Yeah, I like that you brought up the movie does have like some comedic elements, which is great. My redemptions, we kind of talked about some of them, but just the intro of this movie, one of the best introduction scenes I think ever. The body in the trunk, the red brake lights as they're digging, and then just the, as far back as I can remember. So good.
I agree.
We also talked about Marty just, being the peak of his powers. We talked about the one continuous shot, but just the way he uses pausing in this movie, I think is so well done. Like when Henry's running away from the cab explosion and it pauses, and then the voiceover talks about the story about the kids bringing groceries to his mom to show respect. I just love that is one of his like elements in his films is the pausing, and he does it so good.
Another element that shouldn't work, like narration it doesn't work, but
yeah,
he makes those pauses work. And the slow pans too. Those slow
I was gonna
pans.
mention the dolly zoom, probably one of the greatest scenes when Leota and De Niro meeting for breakfast, and they're still with the frames as the background closes in, and it just kind of captures the Henry Hill's paranoia. Awesome.
Yeah. What about the other pan of the two people that are dead in the pink Cadillac, and the music's playing, and the camera goes low and then high, and you finally see them just like with their mouths gaping. It's
yeah, in the cab.
Awesome.
The slow-mo De Niro smoking a cigar. So good. Just the music, the camera work, top notch. One of my favorite scenes is the one day scene. You mentioned the helicopters, and they're, following Henry the whole day. But that's my favorite scene of the movie, that stretch where it wakes up 6:55 a.m. We follow Henry that day between, picking up guns, doing lines, wheeling and dealing, doing more lines. And then it ends with the lucky hat, and he gets arrested.
And he's laughing to what's the gal's name that's cutting the coke, and he told her to wash the dishes, and she did it, and he's like laughing at her as he's leaving, even though she's like hysterical. So great.
Yeah, that stretch is just all-timer for me. So lots to love about this movie. We've mentioned before, we don't throw it around lightly. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, love that. The whole helicopter paranoia sequence, the climax of the movie, just iconic. Agreed. My redemption, so really, Henry Hill and Wiseguys in general. Before going into this, you think of like gangsters as like bad people, evil people, all this stuff. You kind of fall in love with these characters, these people, the real life people, and there's almost a romance of that lifestyle. But in the end, crime doesn't pay, right? In the end, they get caught. All these guys, it seems like in the end, they either get caught or whacked or killed. And so, it's a cautionary tale about the empty rewards of crime. It kind of comes full circle. And in the end, Henry Hill goes into witness protection. Who comes out better? Like in real life too, who comes out better than the way Henry Hill came out of that lifestyle? Getting popped, all that stuff. He could have easily been looking at life in prison for all this stuff.
Or murdered him 10 times.
Or killed. And all of a sudden he's out witness protection. They're making movies about him. Like he's a celebrity. So all-time redemption, Henry Hill.
Only wanted to make it out. And
he put away all of his friends. Most of them got killed in prison, like we hear in the book. And he's just eating meatball subs while doing it, you know? It's awesome. Well, I hate to surprise this on you guys, but because JJ is on the pod, I feel like we have to do a Mount Rushmore. Is there a Mount Rushmore of gangster movies? And can I tell you what I think mine are?
Yeah, give me yours.
I got Goodfellas as number 1, and that's where it is. Okay. I'm going to put Godfather 1 and 2 as one film. I know this is my show.
I don't know if you can do that.
That's my show. This is my show. I'm doing Godfather 1 and 2. Can I have The Departed? Is that a gangster movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about, can I have Heat? Can I have Heat?
I don't know. I don't know if Heat's a mafia movie.
Robbery.
All right. Well, that's on there. And then my crazy horse is Road to Perdition. That's my Mount Rushmore crazy horse for mafia. And there's kind of a couple of asterisks in there. I realize that I sprung this on you. So if you don't have them, it's okay. I have to do it when JJ's on the show.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have yours, Johnny?
Yeah.
Let's hear them.
All right. So for mine, I also had number 1, Goodfellas. And the reason I ranked it number 1, based on a true story. It's based on a true story. This isn't fiction. All this stuff really happened. Number 2, I actually stuck with Scorsese, Casino. And for that, I loved Casino. I live in Vegas. It's all about the rise and fall of the mafia in Vegas. So I think I'm a little bit biased on that from that standpoint because I love the Vegas component to it. And then I got number 3, Godfather Part 2. That was my favorite Godfather. And then number 4, Godfather Part 1.
I put them together so I could have an extra.
Yeah.
And then I got my crazy horse. I didn't know we were doing crazy horse, but I'll put Scarface as my.
Oh man, that's a good.
That's a good crazy horse.
That's a good one, dude. I totally.
That fits the crazy horse.
Yeah, good crazy horse.
I got overlap. Goodfellas obviously on there. Casino is on mine. Departed would be on mine, and Reservoir Dogs.
Mm.
And then my crazy horse, my crazy horse, which Popcorn is going to appreciate, is Den of Thieves.
Ooh. Oh, dude.
Where's the beef? Hey, where's the beef?
I pushed the wrong button, so excited to hit the air horn on Den of Thieves.
Coming out, that one?
It was the beef. It was an air horn and the beef soundbite, but dude, Den of Thieves, so good. We need to do a Den of Thieves pod right now.
There's a sequel coming out, right?
It's already out. I watched it. It's pretty good, but not nearly as good as Den of Thieves, the first one.
Yeah, I don't even want to watch it.
I think you can and should, but it's not.
It's like Sicario. It's like Sicario 2. I'm not going to watch Sicario 2.
It's not a destination, but if you're like, it's Friday night, Saturday, even Sunday night, Sunday day, and you're just like, I don't have anything to do. You could put on Den of Thieves 2 and not have a bad time. That's really good. I appreciate you guys doing an impromptu Mount Rushmore. That was sick. That leads us to our rating. Golden bucket for me. It's an easy golden bucket.
Easy.
2 golden buckets. Falls to you, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, easy golden bucket, but I'm going to use a different scoring scale. Specifically, this is
I can't push it 3 times? All right, I just had to push it 3 times. Let me see what your rating scale is.
So when they talk about doing a job, it's a good heist, it's a good score, just like the Cash Lufthansa heist. To me, I would rate this movie as a score of a lifetime.
Okay. I don't understand the scale, but I like the name. I love the name.
So the rating scales, if you were a wise guy and you were to rank or rate all of your scores, all of your jobs, all of your heists, this is like a score of a lifetime.
Okay, this is top tier, above
like
top tier.
Like you go your entire life, and this will be like one of the best scores of your entire lifetime. This will be one of the best gangster movies you'll ever see in your entire life.
This is going to be talked about for quite a while in the pantheons of should you watch this, the score of a lifetime rating, but I love it. All right, any parting thoughts for Goodfellas and our book club? Wiseguy from Nicholas Pileggi.
Thanks for having me, Popcorn. It was just fascinating to dive deep into the Goodfellas realm.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on the show. I want to thank JJ and also Johnny, the J's, Johnny specifically for starting book club. We just randomly got a book in the mail about Indians one day, and that's where it started. So if you guys want to start a book club, all you got to do is send books out at the random time at night, and you have one. You've started it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, thanks again, Popcorn, for having us on the pod and your amazing production. And my parting words on Goodfellas, if you haven't seen it, you probably got a pocket full of black licorice, and you should be bullied. And so if you don't want to be bullied, go watch Goodfellas so you can be in with the wise guys.
I love it. I'm going to play this even though it's going to demonetize me, but I don't care. That's it for this week. But I'm with you always. Please help me out by sharing this with your friends. I'm trying to get monetized. I'm trying to get that money, just like Henry Hill. It just takes a lot of downloads and lots of people listening. So please share and like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for the people who make movies. That's why I do this. And thanks to my special guests, Mr. Two-Time Johnny and JJ Stacks, for coming on the show. Remember, when you watch movies, you can pop in, pop out, or pop off. But when you do, always bring the popcorn. We'll see you guys next week.